Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something special. The Big Peat Fèis Ale 2025 edition.
Yeah, a specific blended malt scotch with quite a story behind it.
Exactly. And we're using insights primarily from Whisky.dk, specifically Ulrich Berkelson's blog post, to understand this whiskey and the Islay festival it celebrates, Fèis Ìle.
Right. And our mission for you, the listener, isn't just, listing flavors.
No.
We want to unpack why it's special. The tradition, what Douglas Lang is trying to do here, what it says about Islay whiskey right now.
So it's more than just a review, it's context, understanding the whole picture.
Precisely. Ulrich's post on the 2025 edition is our main guide, but we'll touch on the festival itself, too.
Okay, good. Because to really get this whiskey, you need to understand Fèis Ìle first, right? So what is this festival?
Fèis Ìle, it's the Adelphi Festival of Music and Malt. Happens every year, usually right at the end of May. On Islay, obviously.
Well, music and malt. So not just whiskey from the start.
No. Interestingly, it actually began way back in 1985, purely as a music festival, celebrating Gaelic culture and music.
Ah, okay.
But, being Islay, with all those amazing distilleries, it wasn't long before they got involved. They saw this great gathering happening.
Makes sense. So it evolved.
Totally. It grew into this week-long celebration. You get special distillery tours, exclusive tastings, loads of master classes, plus local food, crafts, and, of course, still lots of traditional music. It's really about the whole Islay package. The whiskey, sure, but also the people, the culture, the community.
And the big names are all involved.
Oh, absolutely. Think Ardbeg, Laferweg, Bruichladdich, Bunahapane. They all have open days, special events.
And special bottlings.
Special bottlings, exactly. Which brings us neatly back to Big Peat.
Right. So Big Peat itself, important point. It's not a distillery, is it?
Correct. You can't visit the Big Peat distillery because it doesn't exist. It's a brand, a blended malt whiskey created by the independent bottler Douglas Lang & Co.
Okay. And a blended malt means?
Means it's a blend of single malt whiskeys from different distilleries. No grain whiskey involved. And crucially, for Big Peat, it's 100% Islay single malts.
Ah, got it. Pure Islay in a bottle, blended together. Which distilleries typically make up the blend?
Well, the core recipe usually features Ardbeg, Bowmore, K. Islay, pillars of Islay peat.
Strong lineup.
And, quite significantly, it often includes whiskey from Port Ellen.
The closed distillery, wow.
Exactly, the now silent Port Ellen. That adds a real layer of, history and rarity for enthusiasts.
And the branding is pretty memorable, too, that fisherman character.
Oh, yeah, the Big Peat character, that sort of weather-beaten, bearded Islay fisherman on the label. He perfectly captures the whiskey's vibe, doesn't he?
He really does. Looks like he's tasting the wind and the sea spray.
He represents that robust, smoky, salty, maybe slightly wild character of the whiskey. The source even uses Danish words like markant, roigfalt, strong, smoky. Lots of depth, complexity, but also a bit of fun. A touch of humor in the brand.
Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously, despite the serious whiskey inside. So with that strong identity, what makes the Fèis Ìle edition different? It's an annual thing.
It is. Douglas Lang puts out a special Big Peat Fèis Ìle edition every year. Time for the festival.
Okay.
And these aren't just standard Big Peat with a different label. They're usually limited runs, often bottled at a higher ABV cask strength or close to it.
Right.
And importantly, non-chill filtered natural color. The idea is to present a really pure, unadulterated expression of Islay whiskey, specifically for the festival atmosphere.
Like a snapshot of Islay power for that year's celebration.
You got it. And the source mentions the 2024 edition as an example.
What did that taste like, according to the blog?
Well, it had that classic Big Peat DNA, but maybe amplified. Intense peat smoke, salty sea air, the usual suspects, but also things like burnt oak, roasted barley, licorice, even campfire notes. Really sets the scene for what these Feis bottlings aim for.
A full-on Islay assault in a good way.
In the best way, yeah.
Okay, so let's zero in on the main event. The Big Peat Fèis Ìle 2025 edition. What's the hook for this specific release?
The 2025 is framed as a real tribute to Islay's core character and Big Peat's origins. The big thing here is the vintage. It's made exclusively from whiskey distilled in 2010.
Oh, interesting. A single vintage blend. That's quite specific.
It is. It gives it a particular focus, a snapshot of that distillation year across the contributing distilleries.
And the maturation. How is that 2010 spirit aged?
Solely in refill hogsheads.
Refill hogsheads. Okay.
Yeah, so casks that have already held whiskey before. And this means the wood influence is gentler, allowing that raw, powerful Islay spirit character from 2010 to really dominate. It's not masked by heavy oak.
Right, letting the distillate shine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The result, they say, is a small batch release with really significant personality and depth.
And the numbers. Strength, filtration.
It's bottled at a pretty punchy 50% ABV.
Okay, decent strength.
Yeah. And as expected for these editions, natural color and non-chill filtered, the blog really stresses this. It's about an unfiltered, honest taste experience.
So let's get to that taste. What are the notes? What hits you first?
Okay, so on the nose, you get this sweet smoke mixing with that typical salty sea breeze. And an interesting note described as sugary seaweed.
Sugary seaweed. Intriguing.
I know, right? Then, the taste, it really leans into that industrial elemental Islay character. The coal dust, chimney soot, wet bonfire ash.
Wow. Those are evocative descriptors, not shy notes.
Definitely not. It sounds like it really captures that robust, maybe slightly gritty, genuine Islay profile.
And the finish, does it fade quickly or hang around?
Oh, it hangs around. Described as long, intense, all those classic Big Peat things coming back, especially a really persistent and delicious BBQ smoke note. Sounds like it leaves a lasting impression.
Sounds fantastic for peat lovers. And even the packaging gets a mention.
Yeah, they note the stylish design. It's got an embossed foil label, comes in a matching cardboard box. It positions it not just as a drink, but as a potential collector's item, too.
Right.
And if you're keen, it's apparently ready to ship from late February 2025, but the official launch, the big reveal, happens at the start of Fèis Ìle itself, May 23rd.
So that collector's angle, the source says these Feis editions become quite sought after.
They definitely do. It's a combination of things. The whiskey itself is often excellent, a powerful snapshot of Islay. Then you've got the unique labels that change each year, which appeals to collectors. And the fact that they are limited editions. They don't make vast quantities, so they tend to disappear pretty quickly and gain value. It's like owning a little piece of that specific festival year.
Yeah, it's like bottling the festival atmosphere for people who maybe can't get to Islay that year.
That's a big part of the appeal, I think. The idea is that each sip should evoke the island, its rugged nature, the smell from the distilleries, the community spirit of Fèis Ìle. The source even says it's created to be shared, ideally with some Scottish folk music playing, maybe near a bonfire. It's trying to capture a feeling, an experience.
So it's really more than just fermented barley juice in a bottle, then.
Much more, yeah. It's positioned as an experience, a way to tap into the essence of Islay and the Fèis Ìle spirit, even if you're thousands of miles away.
That blend of smoke, sea, tradition, history, and that Big Peat humor we mentioned.
All rolled into one. The blog strongly suggests that if you only try one Big Peat this year, this should probably be it, because it tastes a festival, even enjoyed at home.
High praise. Now, just for context, the source briefly lists some other Big Peat bottlings. Can you run through those quickly, just names and prices mentioned?
Sure. It gives a few examples, mostly older, premium ones, presumably to show the range. There's a Big Peat 25-year-old, a 26-year-old, and a 27-year-old, all from the 1992 vintage series, listed at 16.99 Danish krone each.
Okay, so higher-end stuff.
Yeah. Then it mentions the Big Peat 12-year-old at 5.49 krone, and last year's Fèis Ìle bottling, the 2024 Thropage edition, at 5.99 krone.
Right. So the new 2025 Feis edition will likely sit somewhere around that 2024 price point, maybe. Gives you a rough idea.
Probably in that ballpark, yeah. It helps place it within their lineup.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for listeners about this Big Peat Feis 2025?
I think the key thing is, it's a specific, limited, blended malt designed to give you a concentrated, authentic blast of Islay whiskey and the feeling of the Fèis Ìle Festival. It's very focused 2010 vintage only and crafted for impact. Aimed at Islay fans, for sure, but maybe also for anyone curious about those really bold, smoky flavors.
And why should you, listening right now, care about this particular deep dive?
Well, maybe you're already a whiskey collector looking for that next interesting limited bottle. Or perhaps you're dreaming of going to Islay one day, and this is like a little taste beforehand. Or maybe you just appreciate spirits with a real story, a connection to a place and a tradition. This bottle offers a unique way to connect with Islay's soul, its terroir, through a really expressive whiskey.
Okay, great. And finally, that provocative thought to leave everyone with.
Right. Let's think about this phenomenon of event-specific, limited edition bottlings. We see it strongly in whiskey with Fèis Ìle, but where else in food and drink culture do we see such a tight link between an event and a product designed to capture its essence?
Good question.
What does this drive to create and collect these tangible snapshots say about us? About wanting to hold on to a moment and experience through taste and smell? Something to maybe mull over with your next dram.
Definitely something to think about. Excellent. Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today.